So we are officially recording. All of our amazing viewers, thank you again for coming on the podcast. For some reason, my thing is being a little wonky. Let me refresh this real quick. Of course, we have to do a little thing here. Connect your encoder to view. Okay, yeah, all good. I think we're all good. Sir, how does it look on your end?
Looks fine to me.
All right, there we go. Post.
I'm getting everything set too.
So, everybody, we are here today to talk again about some fitness trends that we may or may not have heard about. We're going to start off a little bit with some longevity-related trends. And we're going to start off with an easy one. Sir.
Were we starting longevity? I thought we were against longevity now.
We are against longevity, sir, but these are exercises in particular that are supposed to promote longevity.
Live fast, die young.
Yes. The first one, the daily bar hang. Sir, thoughts? Good, bad, ugly, somewhere in the middle? What do you think?
It's somewhere in the middle, right off the bat. Somewhere in the middle. Depend. How long are they hanging for?
Hold on much longer.
Did they even say?
They don't. I think you just go as long as you possibly can.
That sounds dumb. Never mind.
You don't have to do that, of course, but it doesn't seem like they go that in depth into it, so that makes me think that's what the case is.
The only reason I think it's dumb if you're hanging for as long as you can is just there's a good stretch is fine, but for as long as you can, like I don't know, like on the daily, I don't see the necessary benefit in that.
I think that it could be beneficial if you're just working on like overhead mobility and stability. I also think that it could be detrimental for overhead mobility and stability at the same exact time, depending on who you're talking about. Like for me and you, I actually think it could be beneficial. Maybe not you, because you have frail shoulder.
Wow. Offensive. Also, was that a soundboard that you had up of myself?
No, I didn't realize that my phone had sound on. So.
Oh, that would have been hilarious if you just surprised. I thought you were surprising me with the soundboard.
No, I have not. I have not gotten a soundboard yet.
You spent the entire week just trying to make soundboard buttons. I think I might have found a soundboard. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it. Did you hear that? Did that come through?
No.
I got it in my headphones. I hit the fart button. Anywho, back to the fitness trends. One day we'll upgrade enough that we can have a sound bite on the here too. But I think we need more of a following for that anyway.
So dead hang, sir. Yeah.
The dead hangs. Get us back on track. I just think that it's like, I don't know, the excessive hanging, it can be good for strength. I just think that it can also be, you run a risk of it being not so good, maybe a little dangerous over time. It also depends on who you are. Like, I hang off of a bar for a short period of time to just stretch. Not a bad thing. Not against it. I do it from time to time. Feels great. For as long as you can, every single day. The repetitive nature of it to me just seems like it could be potentially more risky than beneficial. This is just off of a whim.
So the way I think of it is I almost actually think of it as the 50 jumps in the morning. Like the 50 jumps in the morning isn't really that tough. I get what you mean. Why, like if you're going all out for a dead hang, that could be potentially painful. But I also feel like your body could get used to it too. Like I don't know if maybe this is just me because I've done a lot of grip stuff. I don't think that my forearms would be super sore doing that every day. You know what I mean? Like if all I did was just do a dead hang, I think I could be fine with it. Let us know in the comments, wherever my camera is, if you want to see us do this for 15 to 20 days in a row.
Is it the new thing that we're just letting viewers pick out what we do and torture ourselves with for? I will admit, I've been doing the 50 jumps, but I miss days as I am sometimes a sleepy boy. So I need to be better.
Yeah, I mean, this was also supposed to be our recap of that, but how about we still like talk a little bit more about this dead hang thing, and then we go into the current recap of how the 50 jumps are doing in the morning.
Yes, we'll dive into that in a second. But overall, the hang, I guess, like I hate that I do this. This is where I end up hating myself. It's not bad. I'm such a like physical therapist who's like the gray area guy who's just like, oh, it's not bad if you do it in moderation. It's just like a doctor thing
I
to
think,
do.
yeah, I think another thing that we haven't even brought up yet, aside from grip strength, back, including lats, erector spinae, rhomboids, all of that stuff. Even your pecs, probably. Like, oh, you're using a lot of your body to do this. It could be a good, almost like the 50 jumps, like a wake up call in the morning to get your body toned in or like nervous system stimulated. It also could be like long axis distraction for your back. Um, Long axis distraction, for anybody who doesn't know, is basically just stretching out your back. A lot of chiropractors do that. A lot of physical therapists do that. It's meant to just make everything relax and feel nice and good. So it's like a way to do it for yourself, by yourself. Now, that's not also good for everybody. Long axis distraction or traction, for some people, might actually make pain worse. And for those people, honestly, dangling from a bar is probably not the best idea. Maybe we don't want to do that if we're one of those people.
No, that's where I mean that's there's the gray area comment again. It's like it depends. It's not god awful if you're doing it right and you're healthy enough to handle it. In short durations, it can be like kale for the spine. So I don't hate it, but I think that it has a spot where it can run out from being beneficial. Like if you're just trying to see how long you can hang every single time, I think we cross the boundary of like therapeutic and detrimental.
So, sir, if me and you do this, after we finish our 50 jumps, which I don't really know how long we're going. Originally, it was 7 days. We're at 11.
We'll go for one more week. Well, not one more week, but we'll go for 3 more days then.
We could just do 14. How about we get to 15 just for a round number? Then we switch to dead hang. We do that every day. We see how it goes. We see how the body feels. We see whether it is beneficial or not. And that brings us right into, sir, 50 jumps in the morning. Yay or nay? Has it helped? Has it hurt? Has it done anything?
It hasn't, like, in all honesty, one time I did it, I got a headache. I was like, oh, that's not fun. I don't know if you've had that experience just yet, but we'll come to you in a second. I don't think it was bad. Honestly, I think there was a couple times where like I was kind of groggy and out of it, and I was like, oh, I got to do that. So I did a couple of jumps, and it helped wake me up a little bit and get the day going some.
All right, so I guess that comes to me. What did I think about this experience so far? First of all, I definitely felt the headache one day. One day I woke up super early, did the jumps, and I was like, my head feels like it's jostling around doing this in the morning.
I wasn't alone because there was a couple times I felt like my brain was hitting the skull and the back.
Yeah, boom. Literally in the morning, I was like, did my brain not wake up? And I was like, not ready to do this yet. So that did not wake me up at all. Do I really think it woke me up? Honestly, for me, no. I don't think it's enough like cardiovascular exercise for me to feel it. I think if I did it for a good 5 minutes instead of 50, I would probably feel it. Because in reality, it took 30 seconds to do every day. It really didn't take a long time at all. A few things I did notice. It made me poop. There were a few mornings where I didn't have to poop. I did the 50 jumps and I had to poop. So it actually got the bowels moving a little bit. That could just be exercise, though. Like, I don't know if that's necessarily the jumps that made it happen, or what. Maybe it was just my morning routine, and that got me going a little bit. But I think that was one of the big ones that I felt. And then, yeah, I mean, I think there might have been 1 or 2 days where I felt a little bit more energized. Actually, you know what I forgot? If I was super tired, I think it's like you were saying, Dr. Tom, I did feel a little bit more energetic. If I was like, oh man, I didn't get enough sleep, then I might have felt a little more energetic. Other than that, like if I got an adequate amount of sleep, it wasn't a factor at all.
I just felt like it helped you like get going. I did quickly ask Gemini if jumping can help stimulate your bowels, and apparently it can. So look at that, Aaron. You found a method to get the pipes moving again.
Gravity goes down.
Gotta love
Bowels
gravity.
go down. Jumping brings it down. So that's why 50 jumps in the morning, they get you going.
That's called science.
I also say one thing. If you're at a bachelor party and you're doing 50 jumps in the morning, they will not cure a hangover.
Yeah, the couple that you did, I saw on the roof. I was like, I could tell you were hurting. I was like, this poor guy.
Yeah, and the funniest
That was
thing
one of the
about
days I
that-
forgot to do it. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look good right now. I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
The funniest thing about that is everyone in the house was asleep, and I was directly on top of my brother's room when I did those. So like 2 hours later, my brother came out of his room and he was like, "I heard you do your 50 jumps this morning." I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, my bad."
Oh my God, I'm so hungover. I've never been this hungover.
I feel great. I ran 5K this morning.
Really?
I was
And
not,
in a coach's mentality, did he immediately go, next time I know you can jump higher, and then go back to bed?
I was thinking of like ways to make this more fun, and one of the ways I was thinking was just bigger jumps, like maybe actually bend my knees. So like the last 2 days, I've been adjusting my jumps. So like instead of just doing this, I'll like turn, but then I'll turn the other way. Maybe I'll do a full loop around. It's just like
I would do
things keep me going.
360s just to do something. Maybe over the next 3 days. Tomorrow, we both try 50 jumps for as high as you can.
Oh my goodness!
Probably at the shower.
So are we saying squat jumps?
As high as you can jump, however you need to get the height. I'm vertically challenged, so that's.
I mean, yeah. So that would take us
See
to
what that does to the bowels. You'll end up just crapping your pants.
Yeah. Oh boy. I mean, we could definitely try it. We could see how it goes. But yeah, did we did we say we're stopping at 15 days or 20 days? I think we said 15, right?
I thought, yeah, 15.
Does 20 just sound better though? Does 20 it's like more of a round number. Maybe we should go for 20. I'm obsessed, sir. I'm obsessed.
You know what? We'll do 20 because I need to be better.
Yeah, so we I think it's a good plan. It's a good round number. I think it gives us a decent idea. We have a little more than 2 weeks. Is it making any change? Is it not? And yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think that's pretty good for our recap of 50 jumps, right, sir?
Yeah, I think so. I want to move into some the potential hot or not hot or hoax fitness trends that are in 2026, and there's a lot of them, especially because right now we're in a data driven mentality in 2026. Everybody likes data. Suddenly data is like the hottest thing on the market right now. Any which way you can get data, you get it. It's just like, we got the Apple watches, we got the, I don't know what Samsung calls the Galaxy watches. Is that what you guys get?
Samsung watch, Samsung Galaxy watch, yeah, whatever. Anything like that.
I don't know. Any of the watches. We got the rings
It's a
now. We've got
Galaxy watch.
AI.
Yeah, it's a Galaxy.
Is it a
watch.
Galaxy watch?
It's
I know
Galaxy
Google
watch.
has one of their own now
I
too,
have
but
a
everybody.
Galaxy watch.
Are you kidding me?
It took me a second there.
There's reasons that we don't do the podcast together in person anymore because we'll end up killing each other.
Don't say that. That's mean.
That is mean. But anywho, technology is gigantic nowadays. What are your thoughts right off the bat? I tell you, like, oh, hey, I'm using a piece of technology. It doesn't have to be anything in specific, but a piece of technology, and I'm tracking X, Y, and Z. What's immediate thoughts? What do you think about data-driven workouts now?
I think that it depends on the person. I think sometimes it can become like an obsessive thing, and almost in a good way, believe it or not. So, like when I say obsessive, let's say you have something to measure your steps, how many steps you took in a day. It's actually good to have a goal to do like 10,000 steps in a day, even though it is hard for people to get to sometimes. It's a goal that's realistic and something that everyone should try to do. Now, if you get to 6,000 or 8,000, that's probably good too. But 10,000, like, we are meant to move. We're not meant to be sedentary creatures. We say as we sit here for 30 to 45 minutes not moving. So something like that
I'm
could
moving my feet as we're talking.
something like that could be beneficial. However, we could look at it in the opposite way, like we're being too obsessive could be bad, and you could look at like maybe a calorie counter or something like that, where someone could literally develop like an eating disorder trying to be so perfect with the food that they're eating. When in reality, we've talked about it before, you can have moderation or things like that. Same thing with stepping on a scale. If you have something and it's not what you expect, it could actually do sometimes mentally more harm than good. Like you see a number not go down and you're like, oh, I'm doing everything wrong. And then because of that, you fall off of that consistency that you need to make progress. So I think that there's good things and there's bad things about devices and fitness and health and all that stuff.
Yeah, I agree with it. Like, there's definitely good points to having the data available to you, and I'm definitely someone like who's very data driven. In every part of my life, I've always been a big fan of reading research articles and getting data and stuff too. So I'm a fan of it, but it can push another limit. Like if you start to get too obsessed about the data and the numbers and whatnot, like you can start to drive yourself to some phobias and some things that you start to just obsess too much about. Listen, you could say that about anything. I guess if you're going to say like, oh, if there's one good thing to obsess about, like your health and wellness is probably one that's okay, but even that can push itself too far. I think it starts to kind of get weird when we start to talk about like, and I think Aaron, it might just be fun just for giggles if we do it at one point. VO2 maxes. I'm gonna start calculating our VO2 max.
Oh boy, yeah, that would be interesting. I feel like mine's going to be absolutely awful, but I think I'm absolutely awful at most things. You think you said what did you say?
I said mine's probably going to be absolute garbage too. But a lot of the times when we start to obsess, obsess too much about data, the whole point of fitness starts to kind of lose its point, I feel like.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I think it takes some of the fun out of it, and like we should enjoy the stuff that we're doing.
That's the point that I'm making. It's just like
Yeah.
you start to get so wrapped up in how you're doing it that you're not even focusing on what you're doing.
Yeah. And sometimes like you have all this information and you don't know how to process it too, which is definitely a factor. Like some of the things, especially like before PT school, I would see all these different numbers with different stuff and be like, oh, well, that's great. I'm doing that well. Where in reality, like it really didn't matter that much. And I guess just focusing on some of the other stuff might have been better. Like you said, focusing on just enjoying the exercise that you're doing instead of just focusing on the numbers might be a little bit better. Then I'm being devil's advocate with myself now too, and numbers could help you enjoy the exercise you're doing as well, which is why all this stuff is so great. Yeah, I'm having a conversation with myself. Dr. Tom, get off of the screen. I'm going to talk to myself for the next hour.
And that's where things can get unhealthy. That's where podcasting gets too far when we start talking to ourselves.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just, I think that's why we could talk about this though, is that there's so much, like there's good stuff in both ways. And there's good stuff and there's bad stuff. So it's hard to say what it is overall. I think overall it's a good thing to have all this new technology.
If it's used right, it's fine. Now that kind of dives into then what do we think about AI generated workouts? AI personal trainers. Watch out, personal trainers. The AIs are coming for you. AI is coming for everything. But
I think that there are a few things we have to think about when it comes to AI and fitness. First of all, it is good to have a person who can listen to you and understand you and develop a relationship with you. Not like a dating relationship, all you weirdos out there. But
just want to tell you, stop crying. You have one more rep. Get going. Get moving. Why are you crying?
Yeah, of course, someone to just yell at you. No, but in all seriousness, one of the things we learned about in college is the biopsychosocial model. That is basically that a human isn't just physical muscle and bones. They also have to deal with social things, psychological things that are going to affect pain and how we do things. So I don't think AI is going to be able to deal with the psychosocial component of these things. It might be able to ask you questions about it, but it's not going to be able to understand an emotion, or at least help you cope with an emotion if you don't understand, or the therapist doesn't understand. It's sort of just giving you bare bones. This is what you should do. I also think that it's not going to be great with injuries and getting around different problems you might have along the way. For example, you're doing a workout, oh, my shoulder's hurting. AI might not be able to figure out as effectively what is going on with the shoulder as a physical therapist, maybe a trainer, maybe whoever you're working with. So I'm definitely a little skeptical, but I think I could give you bare bones stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it runs the risk of like a personal trainer being there with you, or even one that you talk to. There's so many personal trainers that are online now too. Even one of those um, has more of an ability to adapt and readjust a workout according to how you're feeling, even in real time compared to AI. Like, I feel like you could tell AI your symptoms and it'll be like, oh, like, yeah, don't do that. Try this instead. And it's like, it's making a suggestion, but I just feel like, I don't know. My brain immediately goes to like, it's not human, so it doesn't know. The only reason it knows how to move and adjust for humans is based off of the data that it has online, and the only data piece it can't have is like your actual view of doing the exercise and how you feel. Like, there's just so many components to it. Like, especially when doing an exercise, there's so many moving components internally, externally, so many just different factors that I feel like AI can't account for all of them, which, I mean, bring the biopsychosocial model part into it. Yeah, it definitely can't account for a bunch of factors in there.
Yeah, so like relating it to, of course, every time I have to talk about, geriatric physical therapy, because I'm a geriatric physical therapist. One of my patients that most people would consider complex, I don't, because I'm very used to it, would be somebody with maybe Parkinson's disease, has like a total knee replacement, a total hip replacement, probably some anxiety and depression. And is just trying to figure out maybe like, how do I get from my couch to the dining room so I can eat dinner with some of my friends? That's something that is going to be hard for AI to figure out, because there's so many different components. And what if you get through a session or two and it's like, I just don't feel like doing it anymore? How is AI going to be able to motivate a person to keep on working towards those things? Like, sure, it could send a message, but it's one thing to hear like, you can do it, you're strong, versus like a person actually talking to you and getting you motivated and like willing to do those things that might not otherwise do.
Yeah, no, I agree too. And I also want to just throw out there is, if you are watching and you've got any questions or, thoughts on any of it too, please throw it in the chat. Also, we're also curious on what our viewers like to do, or if you have some, if you're doing some of the new fitness trends of 2026 yourself, and you've got some comments, or one that you're like, hey, these guys might like it or might want to try it, offer us something to torture ourselves with for the next 2 weeks too.
Yeah, we definitely need to know some of these trends that you guys are looking at, so we can get into it a little bit, so we can test them out, let you know what we think. Sort of similar to with the 50 jumps, when we started with like an intro thing. We'll do the same thing with that trend. We'll talk about it, we'll say what we think, and then we'll test it out. We'll see, does it work? Does it not work? Is it going to cause you an injury? Is it going to get you stronger, faster, built to last longer, or weaker, slother, and on the couch all week?
Join us next week for part 2